What's good, y'all? We back with another Earn Your Leisure breakdown today. Let's get into it. All right, so this section of the book that I'm reading is called The Highest Level, and pretty much it's just explaining how you want to get to a point where financially you're at your highest level. And they explained it as creating the terms and conditions that will hold you accountable to earning your leisure. So pretty much you're creating the terms and conditions or the lifestyle or whatever goals you have that will have you at the baseline of being financially free. And that could be that's dependent to whoever's watching. You'd be creating that goal for yourself. First example that they give of being at your highest level is having clarity about your goals and what it would take to achieve them. So this section is really just about making sacrifices once you understand what your goals are. So obviously you need to understand what your goals are. You need to set benchmarks, and then you need to have the ability to make sacrifices to get to those goals. One example that they gave is first you need to take inventory. So you need to look at your bills, your bank accounts, your bank statements, anything else that tells the story of your money. And then you need to be realistic with yourself and see what you're working with. Simple as that. Even though it is simple, it's hard to do because when people are in bad financial situations, a lot of times they don't want to do this because it is hard. If you're not in the best financial situation, who wants to look at themselves being broke in the most detailed ways? I mean, that's depressing. So it's something you got to do. I mean, regardless. So it is what it is. You got to get it done. Next, it says you have to be able to make intelligent decisions. So the main thesis they give in the beginning of the book is increase your income, lower your expenses, invest the difference. So to make financially smart decisions, it has to align with those goals. You have to be doing exactly that. And if it doesn't fit within that, then it's probably not a smart decision. If you got to sell your car to make a lower car payment or move back in with your parents or get a cheaper apartment, these are all smart financial decisions that you'd want to make to achieve those goals that you have set out for yourself. Or if you just got a new job and you're trying to avoid lifestyle creep, which is when you start to make more money and you start to spend more money, that would be smart decision right there, avoiding the lifestyle creep and sticking to the expenses that you have right now instead of increasing them because you're making more. And then this just allows you to increase that gap you have of what's going out and what's coming in. Next is self-sufficiency. So if you're operating at your highest level financially, you won't have to ask people to borrow money. And obviously if you're doing a deal or getting investors, that's different. But we're talking about you won't have to ask people to borrow money so you could eat or get to your next rent payment or something like that. You'd be able to, at this point, you'd be able to pay all your bills and take care of your responsibilities by yourself, which is the goal. I mean, who wants to rely on somebody else to get to the next day? That's not a comfortable situation to be in where you're begging or relying on other people to give you money to do the things that you need to do. The next one is having breathing room, and I'll just read directly from the book. It says once you have around 85% of an emergency fund established and have paid off any high interest debt, that's typically anything with an interest rate over 10%, you can begin contributing to a regular savings account and or begin investing, depending on your risk tolerance and goals. Keep paying off more than the minimums whenever you can. You know you're stable when you're not losing sleep over bills and your emergency fund is untouched and intact. So, at this point, you're maxing out all your savings account and your investing accounts, and you have emergency fund set up. You're able to relax when something comes up. If a $10,000 expense comes up in your life, you're able to probably pay it off pretty easily. 10,000 is actually a lot. I think they say like the average emergency expense is like 1,000 or something. I don't know, it's way lower than that, but I don't know, just in case something crazy comes up, you'd be able to pay it and, get past it without it majorly affecting your life. Next is having flexibility. So this one is one of my main reasons right here why I want to be, reach that high financial level, is because I want to be able to have that flexibility to be like, all right, I'm gonna take off for this time, or in the book it says if you want to take a year off, you can, or being able to help your parents out or invest in friends' small business. All these things are nice to do because you have that access, you have that flexibility where you could start to invest in other people or invest in your leisure activities. And then next is financial independence, or some people might say this is financial freedom. This is where you reach the point where your outgoing is all covered by whatever's coming in. So if it costs you $5,000 to live, you're receiving $6,000 passively each month, or semi-passively. Passive is all, nothing's really ever passive, but you know what I mean. But at this point, you're financially free. You could relax, and you're just collecting everything off the top at that point, and anything that's coming in off of you, what's already covered, is just an added bonus at this point because your major living costs are already covered. And then in the book it describes this as the money rolling in from your investments can cover all your living expenses, whether it's rental properties, dividends from stocks, or interest from bonds. Your money is working for you. If your rental properties are bringing in 3,000 a month and your lifestyle costs 2,500, congratulations, you're playing with house money now. It's about having money enough not only to live well, but also give generously and set up the next generation. When you're at this stage, think bigger. Estate planning, giving to charitable foundations, building a legacy. This is about making your mark and leaving a legacy that lasts way beyond your years. So yeah, financial independence, you're pretty much at a point where the passive money that's coming in is outweighing the money that's exiting. So all your expenses are covered by whatever is passively coming in, like the book explains. And at this point, you can finally, breathe and sit back, relax. Obviously, if you're making passive income, you're still going to do work to keep that passive income in most cases. But, at this point, you're not actively going out to work for your money. You're not actively having to work jobs to get the money. Most of it is coming in through investments and some sort of passive way. But yeah, that's what the book has explained as the highest level right there. But let me know if y'all agree with that being the highest level, or if y'all have any other things you would add personally to that highest level of financial freedom for yourself. Me personally, I feel like it covered pretty much everything for me. And one that I took, like I said, is the flexibility. That's my main goal, being able to just do what I want on my own timing. And yeah, appreciate y'all watching. Keep tuning in.